Hello, welcome back. Today we'll be taking a look at a game called Stellaris. This is TitanofGaming, and if you don't know what Stellaris is, that's perfectly okay. It's to put it in short, it's an RTS empire building game, and your goal is to either conquer everybody, or maybe make a federation and win with a giant federation. And I think there's one other way, but I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure those are the two main ways to win. So yeah, without further starting, let's get right into it. The first thing we're gonna need to do, sorry, I got the hiccups. The first thing we're gonna want to do is actually build a civilization. Now, I do have a few DLCs installed, and I will display those on the screen, the ones I have. So they're not actually all part of the base game, but then again, that's kind of obvious. So yeah, let's just create a brand new civilization or species or whatever it is. Let's see. Okay, appearance. I really like the machines, but I know yeah. So the first thing first is you kind of pick your appearance of your empire. I'm actually gonna go with machine. I kind of like this one the most because he looks like he's got wings, and he looks like he's got like a blaster or something on his back, or an antenna. We're gonna do this guy. The name, because I'm very vain, I'm gonna just call it the Titan. Alrighty, biography, we did a thing. Alright, after that, after you kind of picked like what your species is gonna look like and kind of how what they're called, you generally can pick a like a preset of names. And you just kind of pick what you like. There's different ones. I kind of like the humanoid ones generally. Ooh, that one looks good. Yeah, we're gonna do this one. And the ship prefix you can actually change. You don't have to have one, but I'm gonna change it to just AI, because I'm boring. I can't think of anything clever. Alright, and this is where it's going to get pretty complicated. So what this is traits. So you get to decide what kind of traits your empire will have. Like, what buffs do they get? These are all robotic themed ones, mainly because these all came with the DLC. I think robotics is all one DLC. There are human related ones, or I guess biological ones, and they're pretty much the same. They're just named differently and stuff, and yeah, they're all pretty much named differently. I could quickly change to a mammal real quick, and I'll show you. See, the traits are pretty much the same thing. There's actually more traits for these guys, but actually I might actually change to, you know what, I changed my mind. We're gonna be a biological race, because it's more true to the base game and more people will understand it, I guess, more. So what I like to do is I like to be pick the trait rapid breeders. There's intelligent somewhere, which basically gives them a science boost. Intelligent. And now I kind of have to pick some negative buffs. because you can see here I get -2 trait points. This needs to basically balance out. I can't just pick 2 good things and just go la la la. It actually won't let me. It says you exceed the available trait points. So I have 3 left and I'm in the negative. So this needs to be 0. And the best way to do that is find these negative ones and basically pick them so that they're -2. So I could technically do a non-adaptive, and if I picked one more negative one, like slow learners, I could get one, like a simpler one, like traditional, for an example, which would be quite nice. Or I can get one of these natural. You can only pick one of these, because otherwise you're a little OP. But you can pick one of these. You could get thrifty, stuff like that. Strong, which gives you output damage and worker output, which is always nice. Enduring gives you leader lifespan of 20 years, which is pretty good too. All these are pretty good, and it's pretty balanced, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm going to pick traditional, because I want the increase of Unity output from jobs, because that's going to be very helpful for unlocking Ascension perks or /traditions later on in the game, which you don't really have to worry about. I've played this game. If you're just starting, then you don't have to really worry about it. Just kind of pick what you think works for you. So yeah, just kind of pick what goes for you. Most of this, okay, yeah, most of these tabs are mostly just stuff you don't really have to worry about, like the city appearance and the name and class. So these are pretty self-explanatory. These don't really matter, to be honest. What really matters is the government ethics, and the traits. Those are like the 2 major things, because there's a lot to cover. Now, as you can see, we have ethic points and we have civics. Now, this is basically your government and how your government works. You can pick a democratic, which gives election every 10 years, every 20 years. You could be a dictatorial, imperial, hive mind, or machine intelligence, or you can be corporate. Which basically means you can just be a corporation, but the problem is you get a penalty for being expansive. So if you expand, you get a debuff. The larger your empire, the higher the debuff, and you can decrease this with your administrative capacity being up. But that takes research, and it's kind of it's kind of frustrating. Let's see. Yeah, so depending on the government you pick, depends on these civics. But I'm actually going to bypass pretty much all of this and just go to a hive mind, because I find that they're the most fun to play. Yeah. Plus I get a 25% growth speed, which I really want. My goal is to be a rapid, like when I picked rapid readers, is because I really do want, like, basically all, I want pretty much all of the reproduction. So yeah, we are going to pick Devouring Swarm, because you get a lot of buffs right there, as you can see. And honestly, I need to pick one more. Ooh, that's monthly Unity. Yeah. Full knowledge, strength of legions, subspace, and I might do that, because I feel like that's the best out of them all. Yeah, we're going to do Devouring Swarm and One Mind. Yeah, now, originally you get, let's back up a little bit so I can kind of explain all this, is originally you get 3 ethics. That could be used any way you want. Each of the lower tier ones you get 1, so I could technically pick 3 of these, and you get like little buffs. So you know, militarist, you can get influence cost minus 10%, ship rate plus 10%, or you can spend an extra 1 and you can get basically double that. These are pretty much all double what the lower tier is, so you can pretty much go all the way. This one's pretty nice, the 10% research speed to start off with. You can't pick the ones opposing each other. Like, you can't be a militarist pacifist. I mean, that kind of makes sense. And again, also depending on these, you can get civics. There's a lot of civics, too many to cover. In fact, I could probably spend a whole episode, and I've pretty much spent already half the episode just explaining all this. So I'm just gonna push on real quick, because I want to actually get into the game.
VR1. Alert. Possible organic life form detected. Seek.
Don't let the baseless accusations of wrongdoing fool you. Our competitors is simply project.
To live is to
Yeah, I want that. For some reason, this ruthless conglomerate sound
As the learned say, what's yours is mine,
reminds me of
and
Handsome
what's
Jack
mine.
from Borderlands 2. We're gonna be the Titan Swarm. No, we're gonna be the Titan I can't spell collective. Alrighty. Now we gotta pick our flag. There's also a lot of things to pick from, and they add more pretty much every update. Oof. I like this. I also like that. We're gonna do this because, yeah, this, because it looks pretty good. We're gonna do avian ships because I really like the sleek design for that, and then the ruler. Well, I really don't care. Let's just find a reasonable name. Sure. Sure, that too. The room. There's, again, a lot to pick from. You know, you can pick it depending on what kind of race you pick. This is pretty much, I think this one I like. This one I like. I guess that one too. I like this one because it looks like it's got, you know, stuff on the thing. So we're gonna pick that one. This is basically the summary of my empire or race that we're gonna play. We're gonna save that and we're gonna hit done, and we're actually gonna reset all this to the default and make some changes because I honestly don't want this game to last forever. So because it will take hours. So I'm gonna reduce the tech cost to basically minimum. Now, like, I know it's kind of like why didn't you? But honestly, this will be like at least a 10-hour series, like 10 hours of gameplay, and that's a lot to just start out with. If people enjoy it, I'll probably do more, but you know, I do want this game to eventually end and not last forever. We're going to reduce the crisis strength by half because I'm a wuss. I'm also going to reduce the mid-game and the end year and the victory year. to 300. So this is going to be a pretty quick game. Mid game, end game is when. Okay, I lie. End game, mid game. Yeah, that looks good. Kind of sucks because Iron Man mode, you basically can't save. Yeah. Which kind of sucks. So I can't stop and come back to it. Or I think I can only do auto saves or something like that, and I just don't really want that. I'm gonna keep all these. Actually, no, I don't want Fallen. I'll have one Fallen Empire, but I don't want any advanced AI. But I will increase the normal AI empires by a bit, and we'll keep all this the same. And let's get right into the game. Now, we are roughly halfway through the episode, so I'm basically going to describe the thing, the interface real quick, and then do the beginning stuff, and then call it an episode, because and then the next episode will actually get started into actually building the empire up. Now, first things first, you get greeted into your little solar system here. Looks like I got a dual star, but is it binary star? I don't know what it's called. Anyways, so you kind of got this user interface. It's pretty simple. You use this sometimes. I'm not going to go really into depth of it yet. I'll just because you don't really use all of it. You use some of it. Up here is your energy, your minerals, your food, your consumer goods, your alloys, your influence, and your unity. These two are your probably most important thing, followed by alloys for your ships, influence for expansion, unity for traditions, and then this is based factors into your research. Here's all your special strategic resources, your empire sprawl, like I talked about. When you go past the capacity, you get debuffs in basically everything. My population, starbase, and my naval capacity. To research new things, we go to this tab and basically get right started. Into that, you just pick 3, and then it takes a bit and does its thing. We have a small military fleet of 3 corvettes. That you start with. It says 0 power, but I haven't hit the play button. I think you get roughly about a 150 attack power. The higher the attack power, the more guaranteed you are to win a battle in pure strength. However, that's not necessarily the case. You can technically win with a lower power. It's just you have to be prepared and think really, like, yeah, it takes a lot of it's a lot to what's the word? Plan. I can't believe I couldn't think the word plan, because you can go to ship designer and you can design different types of ships. You can do like an artillery one that stays back and shoots from a long distance. You can have the corvettes be basically your swarm. Beside the point. We have 2 civilian ships that we can construct. The construction ship, which builds basically harvests these things, these 3 energy credits. If they're in green, they're being harvested. If they're in white, they are not. So I could technically have my construction ship just come over here and start building a mining station that takes some minerals. My science ship, if I go into the main map, oops, okay, whatever. I was going to do that in reverse, but whatever. My science ship surveys other systems to see what's in them, and then I can basically go ahead and expand. So, that's basically what I'm going to do right now, is just hold shift and just survey all the systems nearby. Ideally, I want to expand to these 2 first, mainly because of the hyperlanes. As you can see, these hyperlanes don't, well, maybe this one might lead somewhere, but I don't think it does. These don't lead anywhere, however these do, and it's kind of strategic to basically get into choke points. So a choke point is like this, where there's 3 going into 1, which if you were ever being invaded, this point right here is heavily defended and they can't break through, then basically it gives them less points of attack through your empire. So if I had an army stationed here, they would have to attack that directly. However, if I didn't and they had this point, then they can attack here, here, or here, and it's a lot of land to defend with maybe one fleet, right? So they could take it by the time I had my fleet sent over. So you kind of want to get to these choke points as fast as you can. Generally, I just bum rush them and then fill out later. That's kind of my strategy, but everyone has their own strategy. Moving on, we have shipyards. This is where you can build, your ships, your corvettes. Eventually, you can get other ships like destroyers and cruisers and battleships. This is the planet screen, and this is honestly the most confusing screen in the entire game. We have these districts. You get 9 of them. I only have a size 18 planet, so that actually limits how many districts I can get. You can unblock some, and you can actually gain some more districts. The size of the world kind of matters. It kind of factors in how many districts you can get. You get these 4 different types. You get the housing. You get generator, which produce energy, mining, which produce minerals, and agriculture, which produce food. I don't really think... Okay, I do consume food. Never mind. I was thinking of the robots. If you're a robotic one, you don't actually consume food, but you consume more energy and more minerals, I believe, as a output. You can, depending on your population, as you can see, my current population is 32. If it ever reaches a factor of 5, then you unlock a new tile. But you have to ensure that you have enough jobs and amenities to keep basically everything running. Amenities factor into stability, and stability basically allows you to it says right there, effects from high stability, you get 6% resources from minerals. You also get deviancy from low amenities or low stability, so you definitely want a higher stability. I recommend above 50% generally, but that's just me. We have districts, which, as I talked about, we've got 6 districts, which is just 3 minus 9, which is 6. Housing, this is how many future population I can have. So I can have 9 future pops, so eventually I want to upgrade that. And unemployment, well, do I have any people unemployed? Not really, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to build... I can't really build anything right now, but the first thing I like to do is just kind of go over here, have my construction ship, hold shift. Okay, I'm lacking 100, so I guess I'll just hit play. The plus and minus arrows increase the speed or decrease the speed, and we're just gonna wait a little bit so we can get some minerals. And we're basically, first thing first is just get this build all these mining stations. You could go into each system and manually do it, but you can also just do this, and this is a lot easier. So yeah, that's basically the start of the game. I like to go on fastest to begin with, mainly because the start is reasonably slow, and you kind of want to, get going. Okay, so right here is we get tradition available. So I reached a point in my Unity where I can unlock a new tradition, which is great. There are, I can't believe I have to count 7 of these, and they're basically like little trees that you do, and when you adopt them you get like an effect, and when you finish them you get an effect. Discovery is really nice, so is expansion. The first thing I want to do though is actually go with expansion, because you get a plus 25% development speed, and you also get this pop growth by 10%, which is what I'm going for. So we're going to do expansion first, and generally it's pretty good to have. It's generally accepted to be the first one you get. It's that or discovery. Usually you do one or the other first. It depends on who you are. I usually go with discovery, but because I'm playing a little different, I'm aiming for a high population growth. So yeah, so I'm going with expansion. What's my population growth? Only 4. Interesting. I know there's other ways you can increase it by a lot, but you know, doesn't really matter right now. I think it's mostly by research. So, we got another one of these. Let's just grab this. Really boosting through because I got that 10% from at the beginning, which is really good. The more population you have, generally, the less, the slower it is, unless you build monuments and then upgrade those monuments. Monuments are basically a building you can build on planet, which produce unity for you, which is very helpful. Oh, in fact, we have completely missed it, but I can actually build both of these, which is what I want.
Bleeding edge technology discovered.
Now we get 2 unity. So much.
Can we monetize this?
Okay, so we get different stuff. I'm gonna just, generally I don't want to read these because they don't really matter. It's just like, hey, we found a thing. But research ships also find anomalies, which you can research. However, if it's in red, generally I just say wait until you're a higher level and then come back to it. We finished this research, so we're going to pick something else. I'm going to pick another. Ooh, hey, look at that. 10% growth speed. And hey, look, another 10% growth speed. That's 20% right there. So we're now cruising along. This guy has found some stuff, which is good. Construction ship is going well.
Planetary exploitation forecast complete.
Has been fully serviced. Oh, we have red. What's that mean? Oh, we have unemployed, which means we need to start building stuff. What to do? I think I'm going to pick I'm going to pick what will actually work. This gives me housing, which is always helpful, and it gives me 1 job. I kind of want something that'll give me quite a few jobs. This gives me 2 and some research, but it does cost some minerals. So I'm actually going to build 1 of each of the. Oh, I can't. Okay, never mind. I was going to build 1 of each of these, but I'll build just mining, because mining and minerals and energy are important, and they produce quite a few jobs. Oof, these both are good. We're going to do another 5% research. I got another 5%. How am I getting 27%? Oh, devouring swarm. Gotcha.
Wow, we really hit this tech out of the ballpark.
Okay, we'll just get that, which gives influence cost reduction, which is really good because I really need. I'm actually going to go to my shipyard and build myself another construction ship. Oof, none of these are good. I kind of wanted a mineral one. But I guess I'll do Corvette reduction speed, because I do need to build a military force at some point when I, receive.
Anomaly detected.
Okay, yeah, let's build a starbase right here. So what the starbases do is they actually expand my territory, and they're pretty important.
Another bleeding edge technology discovered.
But they can only build them when they've been surveyed. So I can't go. I can't just go here and start building a starbase. I need to first make sure there's nothing there, right? Starbase upkeep by 20%. Let's do that, because I'm just getting a starbase and I don't have a lot of energy credits per month yet.
Boom. We built something.
Let's build another one of these, and we'll actually clear that. You can clear these, and like I said, you get more sectors or districts. Sorry. Which are very helpful. You can have decisions. These are my current decisions. We can do those later. You can also do edicts. There's one that allows 10% growth speed. Again, that's 500 food. I'm just going to do that because I had enough food. And generally food isn't used for much else.
We really hit this tech out of the ballpark.
We are speeding through this research, which is great. In fact, we are going to get. We need credits. Yep, we're going to get the energy grid, and which is actually going to be the thing I'm going to build on the planet when I finish researching it, because they give 10% energy from it. Okay, and now we finally finished. Sure, dot yes. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, so we finished our first tree. Okay, I'm going really fast. We finished our first tree, which gives us this little thing called an ascension perk, and this is like a one-time use thing that's very helpful in the long run. So I'm actually going to get the one vision, which is 10% monthly unity, because I want to get through these faster, so I can get more extension perks. I can eventually build like mega structures that give me a crap ton of energy and stuff, which is what I really want. We're also going to do this because I need food. We don't have the energy thing yet. We're going to hit play. And yeah, as you can see, we just expanded. We can actually build right away. Oops. Did I? Okay, I built that. Research just got completed. There we go. There's the mineral thing I was looking for. These eventually lead to robots, which produce, they cost energy per month, but they are very good at getting minerals and stuff like that. Like resources such as energy and minerals, but not food. They actually get a debuff for getting food. But that's a problem for the future, because we are now at 30 minutes and it's time to end the episode. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode.